It's Liam Alexander Stewart with Inside the Ropes, and I'm back again with another fantastic interview for you today. You can see my guest over to my left. We're talking about a man with over 13 years of wrestling experience from Celtic Wrestling back in 2009, now to being a stable part of WWE's fantastic NXT UK brand. It's none other than an incredible Wild Boar himself. How are you doing today? Thank you very much for coming on.
No problem. I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. We were just having a little chat before about the accent situations. So I feel sorry for the guy that's going to have to subtitle this for us, going between the Scottish and Welsh
Yeah.
accent. But it's Celtic Brotherhood and everything.
We,
So I
we
think it
we'll
should
know
work
what's
out just
going on
fine.
anyway. We'll know what's going on. So,
Exactly.
you
That
know.
that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I mean, speaking of Wales, it makes sense to start. South Wales man yourself, biggest event of the wrestling calendar coming up, Clash of the
Yeah.
Castle. How does it feel for wrestling to come home, so to say, and how excited are you for what's to come?
That's amazing, isn't it? Growing up, you joke with your mates about WWE doing a show in the Principality, wasn't the Principality at the time, but the big stadium in Wales. You think, oh, imagine WWE coming and doing a show in big stadium in Wales, and then you just never think it's going to happen. And well, now it's happening. It's going to be incredible, isn't it?
Definitely, and I mean, you're obviously a part of NXT UK, which over the last sort of 4 or 5 years has become so crucial in sort of British wrestling. There's not a name in British wrestling that hasn't at some point stepped through those doors. I wonder if you're hoping maybe that NXT UK can get involved in the show in some way, and if that opportunity arises, is there anyone on Raw and SmackDown in particular that you'd love to kind of call out for that opportunity to step into the ring with?
Well, should something happen, I'd love to get a chance to face Butch because Butch is the man.
Definitely. I mean,
You
it's
know,
one of the biggest names to come through NXT UK, and doing some incredible stuff just now. You mentioned Butch.
yeah,
We've also had the likes of Rhea Ripley and Gunther kind of make their name in NXT UK before going on to
yeah.
really take over the sort of the traditional main roster. As kind of a more experienced guy in NXT UK, being there since episode 2 when you made your in-ring debut. I wonder if there's anyone that's kind of catching your eye at the moment as like the next breakout star, the next Gunther, the next Rhea Ripley, Butch to come out of NXT UK.
So there's one name, real young boy, Welsh boy again, Danny Jones. He's a very large human being. He's got a bit of Gunther about him. I think a couple of years there's going to be something. People are going to be starting to see something.
Definitely, I think I'm slightly familiar, and that comparison to Gunther there is so apt. You mentioned sort of being another Welshman there, and we've seen some great names come through sort of Wales and wrestling. Yourself, Mark Andrews, Eddie Dennis. The list goes on and on. What is it, do you think, about sort of the Welsh wrestling scene that's really created this hotbed of talent in UK wrestling just now?
So the when myself, Mark, Flash Morgan Webster, Eddie Dennis started, uh, we all kind of gravitated together because we had the same ethos and passion for wrestling. And we just started working together, traveling a lot together. And our mindset was to just be the best we could be and just improve not only the Welsh scene, but do what we can to improve the British scene in general. And after doing that for years and years and years and years and years, and helping people through the scene like your Danny Jones, and other names, your Brendan Whites, people like that who were coming through. I believe we've passed our passion and our uh, our thought process on wrestling down to others. And we just all kind of you bounce ideas off each other, right? You kind of work with each other, you make yourself better. And then we've added groups and certain people into our little group, and then the message spreads and everyone gets better. It's very much a group effort of
Yeah.
just wanting wrestling to be the best it possibly can be, and just happens to be in Wales because we're Welsh.
Definitely, and I think one of the biggest shifts we have seen in wrestling sort of is this information share that everyone used to be very quite protective of, not wanting to give advice, don't want to lose your spot and everything, and more, I think, especially with sort of the rise of social media and things, we've seen sort of people open up a little bit more. We mentioned that sort of you've got sort of this 13 years plus of experience. Is that what you would say is the sort of biggest change in the wrestling scene over sort of your time in it, or is there sort of other things that come to mind that you're like, from when I started to now, completely different?
No, I think that's a very good point actually. It has the things have been open and knowledge is well, it's easier to stay connected with people these days, isn't it?
Yeah,
And you just speak to people about wrestling and you share ideas on wrestling and training methods and what you think wrestling misses and what you think it needs more of. And that's definitely the biggest change is that contact is the information sharing, definitely.
excellent. And I mean, it's been sort of 2 or so years now, NXT Takeover Blackpool 2, the last sort of mega show that NXT UK had put on. For many, myself included, it kind of signified the last wrestling event before the crazy sort of 18 months of the pandemic. Um, sort of are those sort of big style takeover events something you guys are hoping in NXT UK you're going to get back to, or at the moment are you just very focused on sort of the week to week television going out there?
It'd be great to have those events back, obviously, but I think for us it's just putting on the best product you possibly can. You know, everyone involved in NXT UK has a ridiculous passion for wrestling, and we just want to do as much of it as we possibly can. You know, so when we get that chance to go out there and go for it, everyone goes for it. Like, so yeah, to answer your question, we just want to put out the best product we possibly can whenever we can.
I love it. I've regularly heard NXT UK referred to as the best hour of wrestling television throughout the world, you know, in terms of a concentrated 1 hour block. For many, there's nothing better. I wonder, someone that's involved in there, for you, what makes NXT UK stand out from an NXT, a Raw, a SmackDown, or anything else out there? What really makes it shine and so special?
I think it's just that, right? It's just what you were just saying there, and what I said to just now is everyone just has that passion for wrestling. Everyone like we just want the product we put out there to be the best. I mean, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I
That's all
think that
right.
is, I do think that is just it. We do, everyone involved in NXT UK takes pride in the product we put out there. So it's always a constant work. It's always a constant working to make sure the next thing we do is better than the time before, and it's on and so forth and so forth. You know, I'm not saying other brand, you know, I'm not saying other brands don't do that. I just speak from experience and
Yeah,
just talking to the talent involved. That's all we want to do is just make it a show that everyone just wants to watch constantly, and then also look back in a couple of years' time and just think, wow, that's there's the wrestling that that's some good wrestling there. You don't want wrestling just to last for that week. You want wrestling to last for years, and that's the goal, I think, for everyone. We want our work to stand the test of time.
definitely. I love it. We've seen you in NXT UK kind of do some stuff as singles, and we saw yourself and Primate get very close to those tag titles, and now yourself and Mark Andrews back together teaming again. Are you confident that the NXT UK tag team titles can come home to you, Mark? What do you think you need to do to kind of get to that next level and capture the gold?
I feel if it's not me and Mark, someone's going to take them. Someone's going to bring them home, and that's where maybe we can get another crack.
Definitely. And last question before we let you go, because I know you've got a busy day and we've got the limited hours of sunlight here in the UK, so I want to make sure you can get out there and enjoy them a bit. We mentioned again, so you've done a bit of everything in wrestling, singles guy, tag team guy, you've done booking, you've done training, you've been the experienced vet, and you've been the breakout rookie. If someone was walking into a training school for the first time today, be it in the UK, in the US, India, Japan, wherever, what is that one piece of advice before you tell them how to bump, before you tell them, how to work on moves? What's that one piece of career-long advice that you would give them before anything else?
If you really want it, you have to stick with it through down periods, up periods, periods where you just think, oh, I don't, is this even working? You just got to stick with it. Like if it's something you really want, you've got to stick with it. And if you should you and wherever you're training at, if it's a good place you're training, stay the course. Stay the course, work hard, and just keep on going.
Well, there you have it, guys. I hope that piece of advice kind of rings clear for you, whether it is in wrestling or anything else. I think it's great advice to,
Yeah.
nobody ever got to the top by giving up halfway through. It's been fantastic chatting with you. Before we go, I want to throw it over to you. Anything you want to plug, anything your merch, social media, anything like that. Floor is yours, and then we'll let you wrap up.
I just want everyone to keep watching NXT UK, man. Like I said, it's some of the best wrestling you're ever going to see. There's some of the best wrestling going at the minute. Everyone just keep on watching NXT UK.
Well, there you have it,
Thank
guys.
you for having
NXT
me.
UK. Make sure you check out. Clash of the Castle coming up as well. Make sure you check out. Most of the tickets are already gone. The demand is insane, 60,000 plus. It's going to be the biggest event in UK wrestling history, I am confident of. But make sure if you're not there in Cardiff for the rest of us having a great time that you're watching at home, make sure to support NXT UK and everything they do. And hopefully one day we can all get back to those big shows together and kind of rejoice. But until then, I've been Liam Alexander Stewart. This has been Inside the Ropes. Thank you very much, Wild Boar, for coming on.
Thank
And
you.
as always, please remember to be good people.